Very good afternoon. You're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. I'm Michaela Fernando. Before we head into more news in detail, here's a look at headlines.
Senior UNP ministers meet in Colombo. Parliament adjourned due to insufficient government MPs in the House. Shootings in Alpitia and Akurasa results in one death and injured 2 police officers. Zoo employees go on strike causing inconvenience to visitors. Robert Mugabe, Zimbabwe's first post-independence leader, dies.
In your top story, senior UNP ministers are currently attending a meeting at Temple Trees in Colombo. This UNP meeting is chaired by party leader and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. Earlier, MPs and ministers from the UNP hinted the meeting will be based on the candidate who would contest the upcoming presidential election. Reports suggest ministers Akila Viraj Karyavasam, Malik Samara Wickrama, Daya Gamage, Kabir Hashim as well as Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca are attending this meeting. Two separate shootings were reported from Alpitia and Akurasa, one causing a death and the other injuring 2 police officers.
A 41-year-old man was gunned down inside a bus in Atakote, Alpitia. The victim was identified as a resident of Urugasmang, Handia. Sri Lanka police said the victim was travelling in the bus to attend a court hearing over a land dispute, and a man who boarded the bus thereafter had opened fire and fled the scene. Police added a 9mm firearm was used to commit the murder. The body of the victim was moved to the Alpitia hospital, and an investigation is underway to locate and arrest the suspect responsible. A police manhunt is underway to locate and arrest the suspects who opened fire at 2 police officers in Akurasa earlier this morning. The injured police officers are being treated at the Mathura General Hospital. Sri Lanka police said the officers had attempted to stop a motorcycle in which 3 people were travelling in without number plates. During their attempt, the suspects had disobeyed orders to stop, and when the officers were in pursuit in another motorcycle, the suspects had opened fire. Sri Lanka police said a T-56 assault rifle was used for the shooting, and preliminary investigations revealed more than 10 bullets were fired.
Today's parliamentary session lasted only 45 minutes as there was an insufficient number of government MPs present in Parliament today. Therefore, the sitting of Parliament was adjourned to the 17th of September. Moving on to more local news, UNP Deputy Leader Minister Sajith Premadasa declared open another Dhamma school building in the Kurunegala district yesterday.
A building for the Siri Piyaratana Dhamma School at the Siri Piyaratana Bodhirukkarama Temple in Kurunegala was declared open today. It was constructed at a cost of 4 million rupees under the provisions set aside by the Central Cultural Fund under the Sisu Daham Sevana program.
We have allocated a large amount of funds to develop and further strengthen the Sambuddha Sasana. We have commenced the renovation of the Digavapi Chaitya, something that no one initiated before. A total cost of 852 million rupees has been estimated for the renovation of the Digavapi Chaitya. Our opponents claim developing the Digavapi Chaitya, the Solasmasthana, allocating funds to the Northwestern Cultural Triangle and renovating our ancient shrines and temples is not the right thing to do. Such people are called political Buddhists. Such people are those who make attempts to ban the allocation of decentralized funds for temples given to the MPs.
මේ හැත්තෝ තමයි බලේ ඉන්නකොට පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රීවරයෙකුට තමන්ට ලැබෙන විමද්දගත මුදල් පන්සල් වලට වෙන් කිරීම තහනම් කරපු ඇත්තෝ.
In more local news, Health Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne attended an event to place the foundation stone for a 5-storied building at the Munaragala District General Hospital. The building, which will comprise of a new operation theatre and ward complex, will cost 793 million rupees.
Murderers say they will uphold democracy. I'm not sure the type of democracy they are referring to. They even say the law will be upheld. Where is the law? I was with them at once. Under this government, we have done everything possible and admit there were certain shortcomings. However, it is very minimal compared to the previous governments. You might wonder who would come forward. That name will be announced at the appropriate time.
A research-based academic volume titled Pulan Naduwa was launched yesterday at an event graced by President Maithripala Sirisena.
The ceremony to present the book was held at the auditorium of the Pulan Naduwa Royal College. The academic book has been compiled as a publication of the glorious history and subsequent gradual development of Pulan Naduwa. The President handed over the book to several principals of district schools as a symbolic gesture. The keynote address was delivered by Professor Sunil Aryaratne. President Maithripala Sirisena also declared open a newly constructed 3-storied classroom building at Pulan Naduwa Royal College. The building was constructed under the Pibidemu Pulan Naduwa or the Reawakening Pulan Naduwa program at a cost of 42 million rupees. Subsequently, President Maithripala Sirisena handed over awards to students who excelled in education, sports and extracurricular activities.
Still in your local news, employees of the Department of the National Zoological Gardens commenced a one-day token strike which has caused a serious issue and unallowing visitors into national zoos.
Priyantha Wickramasinghe, secretary of the Zoological Gardens Trade Unions Collective, said they resorted to this measure as their request to increase allowances were disregarded. This trade union action is in effect at the Dehiwala, Pinnavala and Ridyagama Safari Park as well as at the Elephant Orphanage at Pinnavala. Our correspondent said all employees of the Dehiwala Zoo participated in the protest. All offices at the zoo were closed and a group of people who visited the site moved away while several others remained at the location. All offices at the Pinnavala Elephant Orphanage and zoo remained closed as employees went on strike. Our correspondent said both foreign and local visitors left the premises due to the ongoing strike action. The Ridyagama Safari Park in Ambalantutta looked deserted today as a result of the strike action. Our correspondent said all employees are taking part in the trade union measure.
The Government Medical Officers Association convened a media briefing in Colombo to comment on a letter addressed to the President.
Since 2006, all hospitals operated in a manner where the national salaries policy was protected. However, the government had disregarded this policy and moved towards a process of simply increasing basic salaries based on cabinet decisions. In addition, when a tax policy is prepared, it needs to benefit the country. However, the new tax policy compelled the professionals to move overseas. The general public and the professionals are paying taxes. In our letter to the President, it was noted the professionals and the general public are kept in the dark over the fate of the taxes. We requested the President to stop the process of attempting to do away with the pension.
රාජ්‍ය සේවයේ පැවති විශ්‍රාම වැටු ක්‍රමවේදය අහෝසි කිරීමේ මේ උත්සාහය වහාම අවසන් කළ යුතුයි කියලා අපි අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාගෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා.
Today marks the 19th consecutive day of the Gum at the Village Forum.
The 19th day of the Gum at the Village Forum commenced from Katugasthuta, where the issues of the people neglected by authorities were presented to the Gum at the team with faith they would be resolved. Locals flocked to witness the collection of photographs which exhibits the 4-year service of Gum Madda to the nation. The Janata Sanasa or the People's Declaration, which contains specific issues identified by the 4th Gum at the Door-to-Door initiative, was signed by the locals. Volunteers for Gum at the V-Force were also recruited today.
Gum at the team reached the hill capital Kandy today, and today we started off our program from Katugasthuta, and right now we are in the Kandy Municipal Supermarket where we are having a special Gum at the Village, Gum at the program for the people of Kandy to discuss their problems and to know us of their problems here in Kandy and surrounding areas. Today we will be travelling further towards Gampala and Kothmale areas to discuss problems faced by the people of our own country. So that is the latest update here at the Gum at the Village Forum. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Madras reporting from
In more local news, the All Ceylon Farmers Federation convened a media briefing to comment on the government's failure to compensate for the destruction caused by the Sena caterpillar.
A small group of farmers, around 200 or 300, are invited to a large hall and given compensation. There are 14,617 farming families in the Ampara district alone. However, only around 200 families were given compensation. Compensation of more than 160 million rupees is due to be paid to farmers in the Monaragala district. 330 million rupees must be paid as compensation to farmers in the Ampara district. The government promised to give compensation to all farmers whose crops were damaged due to the Sena caterpillar, but the government didn't pay a single cent. They deducted 8,000 rupees as insurance fee from a 100,000 rupee bank loan obtained by corn and onion farmers. However, even the insured farmer was not paid any insurance claim for the financial damage he suffered. The Sena caterpillar devastated the crops of farmers, but the government is destroying the lives of the farmers even more. A minister is given 2 official vehicles. 8 MST security officers are assigned to each minister. They receive a fuel allowance of 150,000 rupees. There are 15 employees working in a minister's office. 5 of the 15 receive vehicles and are given a further maintenance allowance of 15,000 rupees each. 5 employees are given a phone, of which a cost of 8,000 rupees each will be allocated by the ministry. The minister will be given houses in Colombo and their water bills will be paid by the government. They are only charged 1,000 rupees and they even receive overseas trips and other perks and benefits. While that is the cost for the ministers, the Prime Minister uses 600 million rupees to import cars. The minister allocates 70 million rupees for their luxury vehicles. Why can't they make the allocation of 40,000 rupees per acre for the farmer?
කෝටි 3.5 බැගින් වෙන් කර ගන්නකොට අයි මේ අහිංසක ගොවියට අක්කරයකට ලබා දෙන්න තියෙන 40,000 නැති.
The final match of the 3-match T20 series between Sri Lanka and New Zealand is set to take place today at the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium.
New Zealand lead the series 2-0. Kusal Mendis and Shehan Jayasuriya are unlikely to feature in the game as they recover from their collision near the boundary rope in the final over of New Zealand's chase on Tuesday. Danushka Gunathilaka, who had impressed in the warm-up game, is expected to feature in the playing 11. Fast bowling all-rounder Lahir Madhushankar will likely to play owing to the proficiency with the bat. New Zealand opening batsman Martin Guptill has been ruled out of the third match with an abdomen strain, while Ross Taylor, who sat out of the second match with a hip complaint, is fit again. The match between the two sides is scheduled to start at 7 p.m. local time.
And that is a wrap of lunchtime news. For all these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. Have a good day.